Welcome to our first presentation about how to roll out the Common Core at Olive Pierce Middle School. Today's brief presentation will begin to explain how we plan to roll out the Common Core on the Olive Pierce campus. The Common Core standards are a little different than our California state standards, so our first point of focus is to figure out what is the shift in literacy and math, and how do we roll that out. Our second focus in collaboration will highlight how do we align instructional practices to reflect and prioritize the expectations of the California state standards in our classrooms. During our STAR collaboration time, our main focus is going to be on understanding the Common Core state standards and then implementing those standards into our classroom instruction. Lastly, during our collaboration time, we're going to work to align our materials and assessments to reflect the expectation of the Common Core standards. Now that we've had a moment to briefly look over our plans for how we plan to roll out the Common Core on our campus this year, we are going to transfer over to the thought of what are the Common Core shifts or changes that we're going to notice in the standards in the area of literacy. One of the biggest changes when reviewing the Common Core state standards in the area of literacy is the focus on nonfiction. As we work this year, we will focus on what is rich nonfiction in the classroom and how can we utilize materials that we already have. Another big shift or change in literacy is the focus on evidence-based responses in reading, writing, and speaking. We're going to talk about what does that look like when students use evidence-based responses. And the third and last shift or change really focuses on that academic language. You've been working on that for quite a while with Kate Kinsella. The next kind of progression in this is really talking about what is a complex text and how do you look at that academic language to help you comprehend it. We can't talk about the Common Core state standards without also including math. We're also going to be focusing with the math team on what the 3 shifts or changes in the math standards are when addressing the Common Core. Big shift in the Common Core state standards for math is actually a decrease of how many standards are addressed in one year. The standards have been simplified, so there's fewer of them, but the complexity is deepened. The second shift or change in the math standards is really thinking about the grade level and how you can focus as an entire grade level on common themes and concepts. We'll be talking about how to do this not only with math, but across many different contents. Although they have decreased the number of standards, the rigor of what they expect the students to do with this information has increased. This will be the last shift or change that we talk about when addressing what we need to do differently with the Common Core state standards in math instruction. Through our brief presentation today, we've reviewed what our plan is for the year on rolling out the Common Core state standards, and we've given a brief description on the shift or changes in the Common Core standards. This is the first part to understanding this work and implementing the Common Core thinking into our classrooms.